and welcome to my channel where I make dishes inspired by some of my favorite video game characters. Today's dish is inspired by Fuuka Yamagishi from Persona 3. Fuuka is a genuinely sweet and kind character, and I've grown a lot more attached to her since playing the game again through Reload. I've always liked her, but I just kind of forgot about her among the sea of amazing Persona 3 characters. Over time, I've started really appreciating characters that are just extremely gentle and strong in their own ways, and Fuuka fits that bill well. We get to see how forgiving she is when she becomes best friends with Natsuki, the girl who literally used to bully her and almost caused her own death. I generally think I'm a decently kind and forgiving person, but I really don't think I could do that, especially not that quick after such a traumatic event. She's a little meek and timid, but she's always able to boost herself up to take on difficult tasks when it matters the most. I also find it a really cute irony for her character that she's so quiet and shy, but takes on the role of the navigator who has to talk and speak up constantly. Overall, Fuuka is a stellar character from the Persona series that has so many devoted fans, and it's easy to see why. Thinking of food for Fuuka is funny, because like many other Persona ladies, she's known to be an awful cook. Part of her social link is helping her to try and cook to finally make some edible foods. So to make something for Fuuka, I knew it needed to be something simple. Although she's not a good cook, if you spend time with her on Christmas Day, she'll gift you Fuuka's cookie, which fully heals your HP, and according to the item description, it's supposedly edible. Because of this, I figured a cookie would be a perfect thing to make. Lastly, Fuuka's iconic green hair and mild-mannered personality and kind demeanor remind me a lot of the comforting feeling of matcha. Therefore, for Fuuka, we're making some white chocolate matcha cookies that even she would be able to make. Here's what you'll need to make your own. A half cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter, softened, granulated sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt, 2 large eggs, all-purpose flour, matcha powder, and white chocolate chips. When rolling out the cookie dough scoops, you'll need granulated sugar, powdered sugar, and more matcha powder. You'll start off by grabbing 2 baking sheets and lining them both with parchment paper. I'm going to be doing the next couple of steps with a stand mixer, but you can totally use a hand mixer instead. In a stand mixer bowl, we'll add in our half cup of unsalted and softened butter, as well as 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, an 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda, and a half teaspoon of salt. With a whisk attachment, we'll cream the butter until it's very fluffy and smooth. Once fluffy, we'll add in our 2 large eggs and continue mixing until the mixture is well combined. You can then remove the bowl from the stand mixer. We'll grab a separate medium bowl and sift in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, as well as 2 tablespoons of matcha powder. Once sifted, we'll pour the matcha and flour mixture into our stand mixer bowl and mix with a rubber spatula until combined. It might take a couple of minutes and a little muscle to get everything to combine, but it eventually will. Stir everything until it's combined, but make sure not to overmix. We'll then pour in 1 cup of white chocolate chips and once again briefly fold the chips into the cookie dough. It's then time to grab 2 small bowls. In one of the bowls, we'll add a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. In the other small bowl, we'll add and sift in a half cup of powdered sugar and 2 teaspoons of matcha powder. It's now time to start shaping and assembling the cookie dough balls. Using a cookie scoop that's about 1.5 tablespoons in measurement, or your hands, scoop out about 20 to 25 balls of dough. One at a time, roll the dough ball first into the granulated sugar until all surfaces are well coated, then roll in the matcha and powdered sugar until well coated again. You can then place the covered dough ball onto your prepared baking sheets. You'll repeat this process with all the cookies, and once all are ready, you'll stick the baking sheets into your fridge to chill for at least 30 minutes. If you don't have time to chill your cookies or are just really excited to eat them already, you don't have to chill them, but would bake them for slightly less time, around 11 to 13 minutes. And if chilling, once your dough is almost done, you'll start preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's fully preheated, you can slide your baking sheets into the oven to bake for around 14 to 17 minutes. The cookies will be done when they are starting to become set in the center and the outside edges are starting to turn golden. Once done, you'll take the cookies out of the oven and allow them to cool for a few minutes on their baking trays before serving and enjoying. These cookies were such a hit in my house, and they were devoured so fast. They're absolutely gorgeous with their beautiful green hue and cracked appearance, so they become an immediate conversation starter when others see them. The taste of the matcha is wonderfully present, but not overwhelming, and it makes for such a unique and sophisticated cookie flavor. The little coating of sugar on the outside adds such a nice sweetness to the cookies, and the soothing white chocolate chips not only add lovely flavor, but a variety in texture. I love me a delicious cookie and love how easy these came together. Once Fuuka took these out of the oven with the protagonist by her side, she'd literally gasp. She couldn't believe that something she made not only turned out this beautiful, but turned out at all. She'd feel so proud of the delicious smell wafting through the dorm, and she'd feel even more proud when someone like Junpei or Yukari actually asked if they could have one. My goodness, even Koromaru doesn't turn his nose up at it. She'd take a bite and feel like she was about to burst with how perfect it came out. She'd have to pinch herself. Was she sure she made these? And wow, everyone's taking a bite and their faces aren't turning as green as the cookies. They're actually swallowing them and smiling? Seeing the joy on people's faces due to something she had made would almost be too much for her to bear. This is how amazing it can feel to come out of your shell with the help of your friends and loved ones. The recipe card is in the video description if you'd like a more quick and concise version to give it a try. Like if you want a bite, subscribe for more geeky treats, and comment what foods Fuuka reminds you of. Thanks for following along.